Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we discuss a brand for which less is not more is more, and that's the ethos of the modern Louis Moinet. The timepiece you see here, the Memoris original, rose gold with green garnished dial, a 12-piece limited edition, and 46 millimeters in diameter. There's a lot to love. So 46 in diameter, it's 17.3 thick, and 51.2 millimeters from lug to lug, which is actually shorter across the wrist than I expected for its diameter. 24 millimeters is the spacing between the lugs, and what's interesting here is that if you look at the case, you see how it's flatted there, and there's this little recess in the case band so that the pivot points of the strap can be super far inboard. They understood that ergonomically this wasn't going to work on most wrists unless they shortened up the lugs, pulled the strap closer to the case, and even created a hollow so that the strap can be countersunk into the case. So throwing this watch on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you're going to find, unlike a 46 millimeter big pilot watch, this actually fits me. So you can wear this on a wrist 16 centimeters circumference and up because of the way the strap recesses and the shorter lugs have been engineered. A really good fit, though it is thick. You can see it's not going to fit underneath a tight cuff, but it is secure and comfortable on my wrist, and I would happily wear it. You can see one of the elements that you find on a lot of the best watches these days, alligator leather on both sides. And right here, we have small round scale on the bottom, and we have a unique sort of round scale on the top. This is usually where you'll find a large rectangular scale. Here we have a combination of round scale and small rectangular scale. A really unusual aesthetic, and like everything else about this watch, it's uncommon and kind of quirky, but it's a very substantial strap. Gator on both sides costs a lot more money, and it's used because it's more durable. Here we have green with a monotone stitch, a little bit of bolstering or stuffing to give it volume, a folded edge, black on the bottom, pull-tab spring bars. You can remove the strap without a tool. You can see the buckle is held to the strap using a screw. We have a double deployant clasp here, and then if you look, there's even a little push-button incremental sizing slider right there. We have ceramic spring-loaded pin snaps, so over time this clasp will not lose its snappy tolerances. And then we have a twin trigger release right here with the Louis Moinet logo and the buckle in red gold. So you can see we have a base metal chassis in stainless steel that's been blackened, and then a red gold buckle with twin trigger release. Unique chaton style caps to the lugs here, and then you can see that the lugs are sharply broken out from the case band with double finishing polish adjacent to satin, which I really like to see. We have this massive construction. You can see the bezel looks more like hardware than a watch case. We have screws, we have polish, we have satin, we have bevels, we have steps. It's a remarkably intricate construction and definitely distinctive. Then we have the Louis Moinet lacquered logo on a crown with fixing hardware externally, this unique sort of pyramide clou de Paris on the mono pusher, which is sort of a mushroom style. On the dial, we have all of the fun. By the way, let's do a quick lume shot just so there can be no confusion. There is a small amount of lume here. The watch is 50 meters water resistant, but you don't want to swim with it. Fascinating because the base is actually a Concepto version of a 7750. You know that because it's got the Concepto C on the base plate and their distinctive regulator. And it is a unidirectional winder like a 7750. This one has ceramic bearings for greater winding efficiency. And the architecture is pretty familiar back here. 48-hour power reserve, hacking seconds, 4 hertz beat rate, 30 joules. But it's been re-engineered so that all the actions on the dial side here, we have a lateral clutch rather than the 7750's oscillating pinion, and a dial side column wheel, which both looks and feels great. Now, it is a mono pusher, so when you stop, you have to reset, but the action's super crisp. We have a instantaneous jumping minute. You can see the scale for the running seconds and the chronograph minutes. They're actually on sapphire dials. The case back is finished competently, but not to autologerie, whereas on the dial side, it is. In particular, the chronograph components are beautifully decorated with black polished satin and mirrored beveling. The beveling that's executed on the little bridge for the dial down at the bottom is to a high standard. I'd compare it favorably with Audemars Piguet, but the milling marks are less obvious here than they are on AP movements. We've got rose gold hands with the Moinet logo at center, and then there's a green base below the running gear. We also have this green garnished track, and then a combination of guilloche and lacquer down at the bottom. It's really good looking, definitely rewards close viewing and the use of a loop, and although it is a combination of hand finishing and mechanical finishing, you get the sense that hand finishing did have a substantial role bezel right here, whereas on, say, Audemars Piguet, it's less evident. We also have this lovely media blast surfacing for the bezel that frames the dial down at the bottom. And you can see that we have these little locating pegs to help put these springs into position. Those pegs have been polished on their top, which is a feature I always like to see. The column wheel action is really crisp, and this is a pleasure to operate. There's a lot to love about this watch. And if you do love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.